who's as adamant about his or her position as I am about mine, whom you think is sharp. Seriously, we know that. And another thing, we heard him say that... Hey, sports fans, welcome to another edition of And Another Thing. This is edition number 85, believe it or not.
85!
85! Go to LarryElder.com, fill out the form, become an Eldorado. What are you going to get? You're going to get a copy of Michael and Me. Michael and Me is my feature-length documentary where we explore the Second Amendment, where I track down Michael Moore because Michael Moore threatened to debate any Republican anywhere at any time. Well, I happen to be a registered Republican, so I offered to debate him about a year before I finally confronted him. He said he'd come on, and then I didn't see him. Then we called, and then he stopped returning the phone call. So we thought the mountain would go to Muhammad. So I went to where he was having a book signing up in Santa Monica, and I confronted him, surrounded with bodyguards, armed. Irony? Yeah. Surrounded with bodyguards, and I said to him 3 times, how many times do Americans use guns to defend themselves? We know how many times they use guns to kill people because you tell us that. How often do Americans use guns, often just brandishing it, I said to him, to defend their lives? He had no answer, but check it out. Now for And Another Thing. I want to talk about something that just happened yesterday. The appellate court in Washington, D.C., and the appellate court that governs Virginia, I think it's called the Fourth Circuit, have handed down 2 different decisions having to do with a key provision of ObamaCare. Now, this sounds a little wonky, so stay with me here. When ObamaCare was drafted, there was a provision in it so that if the states set up their own state-run exchange, the people that participate in these exchanges would get all these tax credits, subsidies. The law did not provide if a state said, you know what, I don't want to set up that state exchange. You're going to have to set up your own federal exchange. And by the way, if you set up the federal exchange, people still get the same tax credits and subsidies. Congress didn't do that. They said tax credits and subsidies if you set it up via the state. But if the state doesn't set it up, there are no tax credits for the Fed setting up their own website. So what did Obama do? Obama went, all these states are saying hell no to Obamacare. All these states are not setting up state exchanges. Only 14 have so far. Now for your questions. Thank you. Liberal Dems are always saying how their ideas on various things will save us money in the long run. Are you aware that any have? You know, it's funny you should say this, Parker, in Santa Ana, because my friend Thomas Sowell said whenever these guys come up with some sort of program, some sort of scheme, ask yourself 3 questions. How much is it going to cost? Who's going to pay? And will it work? He says, and usually it can't survive that kind of analysis. Now, I think the only thing that I can think of that was passed under a liberal president, some sort of government program or scheme that I can think of that's, quote, worked, was one that contracted one. And that was the Welfare Reform Act of 1996. Remember that? We had people like John Lewis and members of the Congressional Black Caucus and other lefties. Marion Wright Edelman, the chairwoman of the Children's Defense Fund, she told Hillary Rodham Clinton that I'm going to break off my friendship with you and your husband if he signs this bill. He signed the bill. They stopped speaking to each other because she thought so many poor people were going to suffer. What happened? The welfare rolls declined by about 50% without a corresponding increase in abortion. A whole bunch of able-bodied and able-minded people got their butts off the couch and went to work. And the welfare rolls declined far steeper than even the most optimistic expert predicted. And it declined far more steeply than would have occurred just because the economy was good. The economy was good, but it turned out that welfare created a disincentive on the part of a lot of able-bodied and able-minded people. So to answer your question in a very long way, I can't think of a government scheme that's worked except for one that's repealed or contracted or restricted or cut back another government scheme. I hope you enjoyed this small excerpt. If you want to see the full video, got to be an Eldorado. Go to my website, LarryElder.com, log in, fill out the form. It'll cost you about $4.75 a month, or about the price of a mocha frappuccino latte at your favorite coffee house. As you can tell, I don't like coffee. I'm a tea drinker. See you next time.